What's going on, guys? Friday afternoon, I'm hanging out here with the truck in the snowy weather conditions. It is freezing out here, it's like 30 degrees, but I'm tired of staring at this truck. I am destined to get the turbo in, start bolting up some of this intercooling piping, and throw a battery in, possibly get this fender on. I don't know, it was covered in snow, it's laying over there. I don't know, I'm just really tired of staring at it and I want it to run, so that's what we're gonna do today. Try to get this thing together. Alright guys, the turbo's in there. She's bolted down, snugged up, she's ready to go. I've got to hand clamp on the exhaust elbow and then also tighten up the flange down there. I have to put both the oil return and the oil feed line on. From there I'm going to be doing intercooling piping. I got to tighten down the app sensor. I've got to do the intercooling pipe on that side also. And the radiator and the intercooler are just loose. From there it's kind of just tucking all these wires back to where they need to go and then putting this fender on. So I'm gonna get that stuff knocked out, throw my phone back on the charger, my camera, whatever you guys want to call it, and get it charged up because it's on 8%. I had to upload that video today, so kind of drained my battery a little bit. I'll check in with you guys when I have all that stuff snugged up. Alright guys, this is the Cummins oil drain gasket, part number 5264569. I'm an idiot and I accidentally deleted the clip that I filmed for that gasket, for the flange gasket, so I'm going to throw that part number in right now. So you guys know that is the Cummins part number for the exhaust manifold T3 flange gasket. There you guys have it. She's almost together. I'm starting to clean up everything little by little here. Most of the the exhaust stuff, the turbo, the manifold, everything, all that stuff has been tightened down. Clamps have been tightened down. Just this cross member is not tight yet. The AC condenser is a little loose against the mounts, but the actual radiator and the intercooler, that is mounted. That is stuffed up there. I've got the battery in. Not bolted down all the way, as you guys can see. It's just kind of laying there. This side of the charge pipe, those are in there. So I'm just going to add some oil now, and I'm probably going to put the jumper cables on from the XJ to this guy to let the batteries charge up. I don't know if they're going to do anything, but I might bump the key a time or two. I'm not 100% sure. I'd like to put the fender on before I do that so I can have the second battery mounted in there and grounded out. That way it could have all the juice that it needs to fire, but like I said, it's probably dead. It's laying over there, and that battery's probably dead over there too, so. Alright guys, I'm going to add some oil and we'll go from there. Another frustrating mistake on my part, putting oil in it. As you guys saw, I only added that 1 gallon and that 1 quart. That's because the gallon jug I grabbed off my toolbox that I brought over here, that was sitting over here, was actually full of coolant that I used when I was doing my Jeep. So I screwed myself. I think my other gallon jug is on my shelf next to my toolbox and not on my bench. So I'm gonna have to run down to the parts store and grab that so I can put another gallon of oil in there. And I'm obviously gonna fill up the coolant. I've got 3 bottles of regular antifreeze, or excuse me, just regular coolant. It's not 50-50, it's the 100% full strength. So it takes about 3 gallons of that and 3 gallons of water. There's probably going to be some coolant in my system still from the bottom of the block, the heater core, so I'll probably just do 2 of the full strength and then 2 waters, and then I'll see where she's at and we'll just continue from there. So I'm going to run down to the parts store, grab that gallon of oil, and we'll be right back to it.
Actually, before I go, I'm gonna see if I can get this fender just at least to sit up here. See if I can just mount it up and throw a couple of these bolts in here. We'll see. There we have it, guys. She's bolted up. She looks good. There's no gaps. It's all nice and even. No major dents or dings. It's pretty straight. Looks good. I've got her bolted down with just about all the bolts. I had to grab this little guy off the old fender. That way I can bolt it up over here and put that battery ground on it. Otherwise, that guy, she's pretty much all together. Got to tighten down these guys. I think they're a little loose. Got to tighten down that. Yeah. So we're gonna run down to the parts store real quick.
Head back from the parts store now, guys. I picked up that gallon of oil, and I also dropped off both of my batteries. I threw them in the truck once I got that fender on and hooked them up, and they were dead as a doornail. So they're gonna be charging those down there at O'Reilly's. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that oil in there and just wait until tomorrow. It's getting dark out here, the fog's starting to roll in, so I'm just gonna wait till tomorrow and hopefully we can fire her up then. It's supposed to be sunny and somewhat warmer. So I'll see you guys then. Just to give you an idea of what it looks like out here. All that fog is rolling in. I was just in town and it was pretty hard to see, so.
Alright guys, we're back at the house. I was able to get that last gallon of oil in there. Tomorrow we'll fill up the radiator with some coolant and pick up those batteries, and hopefully we can hear this baby purr tomorrow. It's getting pretty cold out here and night's coming. As you guys can see, it's looking pretty blah out here, so I'm gonna call it a night. I'm going to head in the house. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Alright guys, so we picked up those batteries this morning. Me and my girlfriend went out to eat, and I stopped by O'Reilly and grabbed them. They're good batteries, they just need to be charged, just like I thought. I'm going to pull the battery tray out of this passenger side. I forgot to throw the horns in there, so I'm going to do that before I forget. And just go over every little thing, make sure everything's okay, decent. I still got to put the EGT probe in, the boost line, excuse me, sorry, blanked out. Still got to put coolant in it, you know, the whole nine. So I just want to see if it'll fire. I'm really anxious. So from the last time that I checked in with you guys, I wouldn't say a bunch has happened, but enough has happened to where it's gotten me frustrated enough to where I haven't been filming. I've been cranking on the truck, trying to get it started to see if we could get something going for you guys. I'm going to throw in a clip right now. As you guys saw in that little video clip there, I had fuel pressure. When I cranked it over, you notice that the tach didn't move. Now this is a manual truck and the tach should bump just a little bit when I'm turning the key over. It didn't move at all. What I'm doing right now, guys, I'll go ahead and just break it down for you. We're getting fuel to the VP. The VP is pushing fuel from the delivery valves to all 6 crossover tubes. We've popped those jam nuts loose up top. We've gotten fuel to come out of all 6 lines. We've bled them. When Matt was up here the other day, I didn't really film much because we were just so frustrated and aggravated, and it was just, it just drove us up the wall because we cranked and cranked and cranked. We killed the batteries once. We had to have them charged. Matt brought his jumper cables and we had to jump both of the batteries off while we cranked some more. My grid heater is, for some reason, is stuck on, so I've disconnected that. You guys saw that I didn't have the tach. I have no oil pressure. And my blower motor stopped working. Just a bunch of weird stuff is happening. We're kind of assuming maybe the ECM and the BCM are, or ECM and PCM are both bad, but we don't know for sure. Like I said, I'm doing a crank positioning sensor right now just to see. That's cheaper than a ECM. So we're gonna go under here, whee, and I'm gonna show you guys what's up. Okay guys, as you can see, here's my starter obviously. What I'm going to be doing is pulling the starter down, and if you can see right behind the starter, this little silver guy right here, that is your crank positioning sensor. It actually slides into the side of the block. I threw that in there Saturday. Today is Monday, and I'm just going to double check my gap.
A lot of people said to use like a credit card or a debit card or some sort of little card, but you got to pull the starter out. It makes the life a lot easier. So what you do is you get a 10 millimeter with a 12-point head. There's 3 of these bolts. You pull all 3 of them out. That's a 16 millimeter nut and then an 8 millimeter. That frees up the starter and the starter comes out. Once I do that, I will stop. Well, excuse me. Once I do that, I will start recording and show you guys what it looks like up there for that crank positioning sensor. Let me correct myself before I forget. I use a 10 millimeter 12-point ratcheting wrench to get 2 of the bolts out. One of them you can only get with a socket. The other ones are a lot easier with this ratcheting wrench. So I figured I might as well show you guys. See the wrench all the way up there? That's why I use it. Makes life a lot easier. And then you come down, you can't fit a socket and a ratchet in between that guy. Sorry, I dropped it. Makes life a lot easier. I'm about to get this guy out and then I'll show you the crank positioning sensor right over here. As you guys can see, starter's all out. Those 3 bolts come out. They're pretty simple. This is the 10 millimeter bolt that holds the crank positioning sensor. I've got it disconnected already. What I'm going to do is pull this 10 millimeter 6-point bolt out, check the spacing between the sensor and the block, and I'm also going to take this ground off and clean it. I'll explain more to you guys when I'm done with this and why I'm doing this. In that last clip you saw the tach wasn't moving, and this could be one of the reasons why the tach doesn't move. Also the ECM could be getting a bad ground, and I'm just going to double check all my grounds and such. I'll explain more when I get out from under here. She's all bolted back in there, guys, all 3 bolts, and all the power cables are hooked up. Crank positioning sensors in there, and those grounds were cleaned up, so we're going to go up top and hook up the batteries and give her a little bump, see what she does. Batteries are hooked up. We're going to see what she'll do. I'm going to explain my ether here. I don't normally use a lot of ether or ever use ether. I've had to use it on one truck because it had really bad cold starting issues, and the previous owner deleted the grid heater. That was in North Carolina when I was in the Army. But just for this purpose, because the VP is fresh, and she may need a little assistance, so we're gonna keep an eye on that tach too. Nope. Notice the tach. Tach's not moving. Well, even with a little bump, guys, you heard her. She just thunked over. Didn't even really want to do anything. I'm thinking it's the ECM. Let's see. I'm thinking it's this Cummins ECM back here. I've talked to a guy on Facebook, Max. He's here in Colorado. He's gonna come up here hopefully this afternoon and lend me one of his ECMs. We're gonna test it. I also have one of my buddies, Tommy. Shout out to him out in Kentucky. He's gonna be sending me a PCM just to see if that's gonna help anything. Other than that, guys, we are at a stump, and I'm gonna be closing this video out real quick. I don't know if you guys noticed in that last clip, but the batteries sound like they're getting a little weak. I'm gonna grab the battery charger out of the garage. My landlord actually ended up getting one just the other day. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. Really convenient right after I charged the batteries at O'Reilly's. Anyways, I'm gonna throw those on there, charge the batteries up for a little while, and definitely upload this video right now. And hopefully Max, the gentleman that I spoke to on Facebook, hopefully he's gonna bring up that spare ECM this evening. We're gonna slap that puppy on there, and hopefully that will resolve my issues. If not, I'll wait on Tommy's PCM. That will be awesome. I'm not quite sure how long I'm gonna be able to hold on to that spare ECM of his.
But with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. I'm really upset and I'm really frustrated and annoyed with what's going on, especially with the current situation. I need this truck running, and I really want to get this bed on here because I have a bunch of stuff planned. I might film it this weekend. I'm going to Telluride, Colorado, with my girlfriend. It's kind of just, you know, a getaway trip, and it's pretty cool. So I know a couple people have commented they wanted to see some road trip videos. This is like a 5-6 hour trip. We're gonna be taking her Subaru, so yeah. With that being said, guys, I say that's way too much. With that being said, all right, I'll stop. Seriously. Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate all those likes. I think one of those last videos I uploaded got over like 200 and some odd likes. That's awesome. Please hit that like button. I really appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna get this bad boy running. So, if you have a name for my truck, drop it below. I kind of like it to flow with like Cummins, like Kathy or Charlotte the Cummins or Caroline the Cummins. I've already used those, that's why I'm saying those. I need a cool name for her. Thank you for watching, guys. Later.